generations. But the good news this morning is that there are some things that we can do to not only embrace, but also appreciate the heavy load. Joining us now to talk about that is mindset expert Jamie Hess. Jamie, good morning. When you say appreciate the load, that kind of sounds a little confusing. So thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning, my friend. Thanks for having me.
You are welcome. Okay, let's talk about this appreciating the load thing, because sometimes that load can feel so heavy. So why are those of us between the ages of 45 and 60 so anxious to start with?
Oh, it's such a good question. You know, I'm part of Gen X, and people often call us the forgotten generation because we talk a lot about millennials and Gen Zers and boomers, but it's like, what about us? You know, a lot of us grew up in a time before social media, and we kind of long for those simpler times. A lot of us were the first generation of what they called latchkey kids. And so we learned to be fiercely independent, but we kind of forgot to ever learn how to ask for help. And then, of course, a lot of us are caring for both children and aging parents. We have pre-retirement jitters. There's just so much going on that causes us to feel anxiety and sometimes even hopelessness.
I love the idea of flipping the anxiety and kind of changing your perspective, because that's what it feels like you're really saying. And you use the word gratitude. Why gratitude in particular? What is the power about this emotion in terms of how it can change our lives?
It's such a great question. And you know what? Sometimes people think, oh, just be grateful. Like it's a soft solution to a hard problem. So let me tell you, this is not just woo-woo. This is actually science. There's a ton of research that shows that simply making a gratitude list, getting grounded in gratitude in the morning, can actually decrease your diastolic blood pressure, put your body in a parasympathetic state. So that's your restful state. They call it rest and digest, and really just improve mood, improve sleep, really just change your entire life. So there's a lot of data right now that's showing that gratitude could be better than that pill or that solution that we're all searching for that we're not really finding.
Well, you know, we have so much to be grateful for. If you really stop and just think about all the blessings in your life, there's so much to be grateful for. And like you said, it has the power to really change things. I love that you have a 3-step process to kind of help us do this. It's called Rockstar Reframe. Love that title. How does that help us with anxiety? Can you kind of take us through that in terms of how to do it?
Here's the thing. I very much believe in self-care. I speak on stages across the country about what I've actually deemed gratitudeology. So it's essentially the study and practice of positive psychology. But I have a 3-step pillar program that I call Ask, Become, Connect. It's the ABCs of gratitudeology. Ask is just asking yourself every morning, what are 3 things I'm grateful for? We all here make a gratitude list, but how many of you actually did it? Let's be real. How many people got up and did it this morning? So if you didn't do that, just simply doing that will exercise those neural pathways and intuitively make you more grateful. Become is learning to become somebody who leans into the challenges. So the parts of your day that kind of, you feel like they stink. Oh, the tough conversation with the boss. My kids are being difficult. You know, I have all of these issues. Learn to find the opportunity to grow, to learn. Maybe I get to practice my communication skills with that boss, or let me get super prepared and walk in with a feeling of, I'm going to learn something from this. And then finally, connect. Look, we have never been more digitally connected, but socially disconnected. And connection is really at the root of happiness. There was actually an 80-year study out of Harvard that proved that our relationships are the #1 predictor of happiness. So I say gratitude is a pro-social exercise. Tell someone today that you're grateful for them.
Oh, I love that. You know, Gratitudeology, you mentioned your podcast. I'm wondering, is there something about your story, your personal life, that kind of propelled you to embrace this power that's behind gratitude?
You know, gratitude is really what changed my entire way of being. So my mom is TV journalist Joan London. So I grew up with this really lovely life, but I took a left turn in my teens and I fell into a life with drugs and alcohol. And it got really dark. And to be honest, the thing that saved me was understanding and getting deeply connected to this sense of gratitude. And when I realized the power that it had to save me, I started turning that forward and helping other people. And now I interview people on my podcast every single week. Celebrities, thought leaders. I have all these great people telling their story of turning pain to purpose and how gratitude fueled them. And I'd like to say, if your viewers would like to listen to my podcast, they can just text gratitude to 33777 and they'll get the links to listen.
That's awesome. You know, we all remember your mom. We so appreciate her